I swear every day I just feel like I'm getting punched in the face. Every single day. It's madness. It's absolutely madness, people. Spurs are getting relegated. None of this delusion, hopium and copium anymore. Like, after last night, I swear I broke. I broke after last night. After the weekend, oh my days. West Ham win 4-0. Nottingham Forest gain a point. And you're thinking, well, I was thinking, Leeds are the ones that we're going to catch. I was saying that all week. Leeds are the ones that we're going to catch. Leeds bloody go to Old Trafford, play them off the park and win. It's just like every single thing is going against us.
So it just took you 24 hours to break. Yesterday, you
after that Leeds game, mate, I had to break, mate. Like, seriously, Leeds were the team I was clinging on to. And they go to Old Trafford and win.
26 points.
Oh, my days.
26 points. If you're deluded enough to think about it yesterday, what's changed?
Well, yesterday it was 2 points. Still 2 points, but West Ham won 4-0.
They won 4-0 yesterday.
Friday.
I know, but I'm saying yesterday they'd also won 4-0.
I know. But even yesterday I was resigned pretty much.
You said you were full on deluded.
I'm trying, man.
So you're now deluded again. You just flipped from
I'm
2
trying.
seconds ago.
I'm trying. I said I'm trying. I want to be. I want to have the hope. I want to have... I don't know, man.
It's all conspiring against Tottenham this season. No, we're not getting anything in our favour.
Literally everything. At some point, something's got to go for us. Like, nothing's gone for us for 6 months or for so long. We haven't won a game in over 100 days. We haven't won in 2026. We got referees making bullshit calls week in, week out. And everyone around us is picking up points.
And injuries left, right and centre. We just lost our captain, our best attacker for the whole season.
Yeah. It's just like, when is it going to end?
The death of the football club will be confirmed at the end of the season. That'll be it.
Well, it might be before then. It might be before then. At the rate this is going, we're going to be relegated like 3-4 games to go.
And then it'll end. And we can rest.
you think we'll be able to rest whilst we're in the Championship? There'll be no rest. There'll be no rest whatsoever. Like, how are Spurs going to the Championship? How have we let it get this bad? We've been over it so many times, but I still can't fathom it. I can't. It's just mad.
You know, people still come up to me, and rival fans, where they go like, I still think you'll get out of it. Yeah,
I know.
I still think you'll be all right. I'm like, what are you on about? These guys have no idea. They have no clue. They don't know what Tottenham is.
It's because they see the results. They don't see the games. That's what it is.
They don't see what the real what Tottenham is right now. You know, they've taken a snapshot of our last 14 games, and we have I think the same amount of points as Derby did in their first 14 games of their season. They're the worst ever season in the Premier League.
That is how mad it is.
That's how bad we are.
We are literally on par with one of the worst Premier League teams. Well, the worst ever Premier League side. It's just like, fuck my life, man. Seriously.
And it gets to a point where you're looking at what we need and what's required, and you're looking at our form. We need probably 3 wins in the next 6 games.
I saw a tweet from Stan Collymore yesterday, and he was like, yeah, Spurs probably need about 3 wins to stay up from now to the end of the season. In brackets, he says, not impossible. I was like, what are you talking about? We haven't won. In how long?
14 games.
And he's saying 3 wins out of the last 6 games, not impossible.
We've won 2 in 23. 2 in 23 games we've won. And now we need to win 3 in our next 6.
I just want to read this tweet again because it just actually wound me up, this Stan Collymore. This was like straight after the Leeds game as well. Here it is. I'm calling 42 points to be absolutely safe, with 40 the base to be confident. That would mean Spurs having to win 4 of their last 6 games. And in brackets, he goes, possible, of course, to reach the high limit of 50% of their matches to get to 39 points, because Spurs have undoubted quality. I'm calling 42. Get there ASAP and you're safe. Anything below it and you're chancing it. It's like, what's he on about?
Someone in the comments, Sammy, says 3 wins. We can't even get 3 shots on target.
Exactly.
Are we going to get 3 shots on target in the last 6 games, let alone 3 wins? We are. This situation is so dire. It seems helpless. It seems like just completely helpless. Like there's no way out of it. That's what it seems at the moment. When you're looking at the other teams around us, I think we're giving the other teams hope as well. They're gaining confidence from our misfortune every week. I think Leeds, the way they saw how we're failing, gave them that little bit of the pressure's off them a bit. They don't have to go there and scrape a draw. They can go there and play their game. And they went and played United off the park super confidently, end up winning the game 2-0, could have been more. Like, they were brilliant, Leeds. And like...
But those two teams, Leeds and West Ham, have just had their best performances in a while this weekend.
Yeah, people talk about how bad our players, whatever, but they signed Calvert-Lewin on a free. You know, what kind of meltdown would there have been in this fan base if we signed Calvert-Lewin on a free?
Yeah.
They've signed Okafor on loan. I know he's a good player, but...
We turned our noses up at it.
We didn't want Okafor. They have like Brendan Aronson, who everyone says he's rubbish. So they signed Sean Longstaff from Newcastle. What kind of meltdown would there have been in this fan base if we signed Sean Longstaff to play in our centre midfield? They have Joe Rodon, who we binned off because he was rubbish. And he's starting for them, Joe Rodon. We use Joe Rodon as an example of how this club and how bad our recruitment is, because we went for Rodon over whoever his name was, Skriniar. And we use him as like, he's one of the main examples of how badly this club is run. And yet he's starting centre-back for Leeds, right? So when we talk about Tottenham and the players that we have and whatever, and the players around us, teams around us, you look at that Leeds team, no one would want any of their players, yet they're performing a lot better than us. And their club has a cohesion, a togetherness about them. They have a plan, and we are aimless. We have all the players in the dressing room pulling in different directions. We have no unity. We have a hierarchy that is absolutely clueless and doesn't know what they're doing, doesn't know what direction to go, and doesn't know how to run a successful football club. They've got absolutely no clue what they're doing. They have a manager in Farke who was one game away from the sack, and he managed to turn it around. That is an example of how a team could be more than the sum of its parts. If you look at the individuals that Leeds have, people were rightly calling them favourites for the drop. They were saying they don't have the quality to stay in the division. And if you look at their individuals, there's a good case for it. But that is how you can make a team better than some of its parts. And you look at Tottenham, we have players who start for big international teams, who've played on big stages, who have also played in this division to a high standard, and yet look how bad we're performing. Look how bad the results are. And that's not because of the quality of player. It's not even because of the manager. It's because the whole club from the top is run in such a terrible way, in such incompetence. The incompetence boggles the mind from top to bottom at this football club. And now we're sitting here, Leeds are 6 points clear of us now. A team that one of the teams we were aiming for, potentially, to drag into the relegation zone, are 6 points away, and they play Wolves before we play Brighton next weekend. If they beat Wolves at home, that's 9 points, which is quite likely, I would say, that they beat Wolves. That is then 9 points before we even play Brighton. And at that point, they're out of the fight. They're safe. I mean, how are Leeds, a team who got promoted last season from the Championship, are probably a win away from being safe already against us?
It's embarrassing.
Absolutely embarrassing.
I think there's only one little thing that we can cling on to give us a tiny bit of hope, is that Roberto De Zerbi gets into these guys over the next couple of games and we see something, in the last 3 or 4 games. That's the only thing that we can cling on to, literally. Because I think those last 3 games could be the decisive games. Leeds at home and Everton at home. I think if we can get those 2 wins in the last 3 games, then I think we give ourselves a chance. But it might not be enough. That's the reality. So we need to see something sooner rather than later. But I still think this will go down to the wire, whatever happens.
I bloody hope so.
Yeah.
I hope it goes down to the wire because, as you say, right now we're getting dragged further and further away. We're getting dragged further and further away. Already there's a little gap now. Incredible. 2 points away from 17th place West Ham. A team when we played them in January, when we lost to them, we were 13 points clear of them. And now they've gained 15 points on us. 15. How nuts is that? They've gained 15 points. That's how bad our form has been. The numbers are staggering. You can't quite believe them. You look at them and you just can't quite believe it, how bad the form actually is and how much of a dire situation we are actually in. I think it's taken a lot of probably rival fans to come to the conclusion now that, okay, Tottenham really might be going down.
And
the reality is, we've been saying this for a while. Everything is pointing to Tottenham going down.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's no logical explanation to say that Spurs can stay up, judging on what we've seen. There's nothing. Especially when you're looking at the games played over the last few weeks, like West Ham 4-0 over the weekend, Leeds going to Old Trafford and winning, Forest even getting a point against Aston Villa is significant. You know what I mean?
Result, yeah.
Every single team around us got picked up points this week, and 2 of them winning. It's just it just gets worse and worse every single week. And every single week you're thinking, all right, this is going to be the week that someone saves us, someone steps up, something happens to give us that little bit of hope. And it just gets worse. We just lose even more hope as each game progresses. And it's just so hard to take. It really is.
And how are we going to get out of this without Romero, without Kudus?
It's not about individuals. It's not about individuals because, like you said, Leeds are doing it with Joe Rodon, Noah Okafor, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
I'll take them right now.
Yeah, of course you take them right now, but Kevin Danso gets in their team.
Does he?
Yeah, of course he does.
I'm not certain about
Why
that.
not?
You think he's better than Rodon?
Yeah, I do.
He is.
Well, I don't understand. Kevin Danso has been probably our best defender this season.
He's just average. He's just an average. I don't have anything
And
against
Joe
him.
Rodon's not average?
He's all right. Rodon's all right. He's been quite good for them.
Come on, man. Danso's a good player.
He's not a top 10 Premier League player.
We don't need him to be a top 10 Premier League player. We need him to be a survival player, a player that can keep us up. I don't think he's not a top 10 player. I think he's pretty good. And I think he's one of the players that has actually stayed consistent. And we need someone to stay consistent for these last 6 games. That's what we need. We need someone to do their job, keep their mentality, and actually perform for the team. We don't need any erratic behaviour.
We need someone to save us.
Yeah, that as well.
That's what we need. It is, I think, at the end of the day, we need someone to step up and be the difference. And we have no one. Richarlison was that for Everton, and he has probably been the only one looking likely to score for Tottenham at the moment.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is just a mess. We don't know what to do with ourselves. We don't know whether now we're in a relegation battle, should we be playing a certain brand of football to keep us up? Oh, we've got De Zerbi now. He's going to be playing a certain brand of football himself. Is De Zerbi himself making compromises with his football to try and just get us out of the mire in the short term? But is him making compromises going to get us out? Because we have been it seems as though we're making compromises all season in some of the football we've been playing, and it hasn't helped. It hasn't changed anything. Do we need to just fully buy into something, one way or another, to get us out of the situation? Just fully go pragmatic or fully go all out to Zerbi ball and just, go extreme? Because this middle of the road stuff has led to us in the wilderness. We don't know what we're doing. There's a split in fans and maybe even inside the club. What do we need to actually get out of this situation? Is it about back to basics, 2 banks of 4, and just try and shithouse your way out of it, just with passion and hard work? Is it we need to let the shackles off and give these players more of a platform to create chances and score goals, and maybe risk conceding, but with the hope that we score because we're conceding anyway? We don't know what we want because we've never been in this situation before.
The thing is, I really think it's all a nonsense when we're talking about tactics, formation, all this kind of stuff.
It's not though, because every team has a plan. But
none of this, none of the tactics. We've changed tactics so many times, and nothing is helping us. It's the fundamentals that is letting us down week in, week out. It's the mentality and the confidence that is letting us down week in, week out. That is what's letting us down.
In the Premier League in 2026,
I get that.
Is very tactical. Everyone has well drilled. They all have good plans. Passion and mentality isn't enough. You need a good game plan.
But you need mentality and confidence and passion first and foremost. You need to see players that are willing to die for each other on the pitch. You need to see players that don't lay down and lose their shit and lose their cool after you concede one goal. And that is what we're seeing every week. And if you see that, even if you have the best tactics in the world, if you see that, you're still going to lose.
It's both. But I think for the whole season, we've had no game plan, or the game plan's been awful. And it's led to these players losing a lot of belief and confidence in the club and and maybe themselves. And now we know we got De Zerbi in, who we know can coach a very good game plan, but that might take time, especially given how long during this season we've had the football that we've played. And when you're coming up against all these teams now in the Premier League, it's so difficult. It's so difficult to compete in the Premier League nowadays with the quality of teams, the recruitment everyone has, and how analytical every team is. That's the reality, and we're suffering from that massively. I'm pretty sure all of our players individually could go to any of those teams around us or above us and do well, but collectively it's a problem because of how we have run this club and also how we have been set up the whole season.
That's fine, but all I'm saying is that if you don't have those fundamentals and if you don't have the ethic, the team ethic, that you want to fight for each other, instead of Moani going on his mazy runs by himself, the sheer teamwork and confidence to stay in a game and grit to stay in a game, the tactics are not going to make any sort of difference. Because you're going to lie flat on your face. You concede a goal, we'll end up losing the game.
I just think it's an easy cop-out to say.
It's not an easy cop-out, it's reality.
No, it is, because this grit, how do you determine that? How do you see that? You think you see it if we get a result, then we had it. If we didn't get a result, we didn't have it. That's essentially what it is.
Well, not really, because you can...
It is.
You need to see... We're not seeing... You're seeing every single time we concede a goal.
Against Liverpool, did we have grit and determination?
Yeah, we did.
Exactly, because we got the result.
It's probably because Van de Ven and Romero, the two players that walked off the pitch crying, weren't playing.
No, it's because we got the result. That's why we had it. And the other games, we didn't get the results, we didn't have it. I think for me, it's not about whether the players care or not. Obviously, there are a lot of question marks there, but it's not just about that. I think it's a lot of it.
And we got the result not playing any sort of tactical way where we should be playing. We played 4-4-2. We didn't play attacking football. We just had grit that game. We actually turned up. One game in the last 6 months, playing Dragoshin and Danso at the back. So, I mean, it's not about personnel. It's about fighting tooth and nail and not laying down. In most other games, we've just laid down. Like in that game against Sunderland, after 1-0, the game was done. Like, we had no answer to anything. Liverpool wasn't like that. Because we showed grit and determination. We showed the fundamentals in that game. No other game we have.
I just think people analyse that kind of stuff, whether we had it or not, based on whether we got the result or not. And if we got the result, then we had it, and we didn't get the result, we didn't have it. That's essentially what it boils down to, in my opinion, when people analyse that kind of stuff. That's what I think. And I think definitely it comes into it in the Sunderland game. You can see they lost their way in the last half an hour. I think we were playing a pretty organised way of playing for about an hour. Then once we conceded, our heads were fully gone.
Exactly.
Our heads fully went. 100%. I agree with that. You can see it on the pitch. But I'm just saying, I think it's mostly about how we play, not just these intangibles that you can't really measure. I think these players are trying. I think they do. They don't want to go down. I think the weight of the pressure of us in this position is weighing on them very, very heavily, 100%. But I also think trying to implement this De Zerbi ball with 6 games to go, it's going to be a tall order. It's going to be near impossible to do it to a standard where it's going to get the results that we need, which is like 3 or 4 wins, potentially. I don't think passion's going to be enough to get us 3 wins.
Yeah, look, you might be right. But passion is better than what we're showing right now. Organisation, being able to keep that organisation through the course of 90 minutes. Like, that performance up until the 60th minute, it wasn't the disaster everyone was saying. It wasn't great. It wasn't good. But it wasn't a disaster. It's not like we deserve to be 3-0 down or anything like that we've seen in many games. The organisation was there, but then it all went out the window when we conceded. Everything. Everyone started panicking.
Agreed. Yeah, we started panicking.
We need players to keep their cool and stop panicking.
Didn't stick to the plan.
Let's look at these fixtures, because this weekend could actually be a very significant weekend. Because like Leeds at home to Wolves, you'd probably expect them to get the 3 points. And if they win that game, they play before us, they'll be 9 points. I think that's them safe if they win that game. Forest at home to Burnley, I think we can safely say they're probably going to win. Palace at home to West Ham. It is off the back of Europe.
It's Monday night, so they have extra few days.
Palace are actually one of the form teams in the league, so that might be a saving grace for us.
Not an easy game for West Ham. They'll do well to get a win there.
Yeah.
But they could do it, but they'll do well to win that game. And then we got Brighton, who are the form team in the league, probably barring City and Arsenal.
I think in the last 5 games, I
think they got more points than City actually over the last 5.
More points than City, 1 point less than Arsenal. In terms of the way that De Zerbi wants to play, it's probably better playing a team like Brighton than playing a team like Sunderland.
I think it is, but the reality is...
we can't implement it.
Yeah. So if we go toe-to-toe with them and go, okay, you're going to play football, so are we, they're more ahead of us in their, how they play.
Yeah.
And in their football, say, are they just going to play us right off the park? That's the reality. But if we're looking to play a team who will leave a bit of space, who will we can press bait against, we can find that space, then maybe Brighton are that kind of team we should be happy to come up against. But they've got good players, they're playing well, they're confident, they're not going to be scared of us, they're going to come to us.
They've got something to play for as well.
They've got something to play for. I mean, it's not going to be easy whatsoever. Again, a few weeks ago, you look at this fixture, you probably earmarked one of this fixture as probably one of the ones, okay, we can get points in this game.
Yeah.
But a few weeks is a long time in football.
I know.
And all of a sudden, you're looking at it thinking, actually, that's one of the least ones I think we're going to get points out of.
I think if you look at Leeds fixtures as a whole, I think we can count Leeds out. I think they're going to win this weekend and they'll be out. And they got Burnley in a couple of weeks as well. And we go to Villa away that weekend.
I think what this Premier League season has shown is you can't take any win for granted. So until they've done it, you can't count them out.
But I think they're looking like the least likely candidate to go down.
6 points. I can't see us catching them now.
Yeah.
But until they win that game, it's still there. They might not win the game.
Yeah. Forest with Burnley this weekend. I would say Forest do have hard fixtures.
And also off the back of Europe.
Yeah, they'll be, we hope they go through against Porto. That'll be big for us. Sunderland away, Chelsea away, Newcastle at home, Man U away. And I mean, that's a hard set of fixtures.
Yeah, no easy games there.
Apart from Burnley at home.
I'm just looking, they're a bit better away from home than they are at home. Haven't won any of the last 5. Haven't won at home since us, have they? So I'm just looking, so their home fixtures, Burnley. I mean, they haven't won at home for a while. Maybe
I can only see really one win there.
Which is what? Burnley?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be... maybe Newcastle? Potentially Newcastle? Yeah, I mean,
but obviously they go into that game being the underdog.
Who knows about Chelsea?
Yeah.
Chelsea are awful at the moment. Could they sneak something in that game? But yeah, you're right. They've got tough fixtures. They've got very tough fixtures. If I'm predicting how many points I see them getting, I'll probably say 3. I reckon about 6.
Yeah, 5-6 points max, I reckon.
Which puts them on 39 if it's 6 points, or 38 if it's 5. So even then, we need 3 wins.
Yeah, I did a prediction last night, and I had them, I think, finishing on... I can't remember what... I've got it on my phone here. I had them finishing on 38.
5 points.
Yeah. And then West Ham, I mean, you don't see many wins in that West Ham fixture list either. Palace away is going to be difficult. Everton, 4th or best away team in the league. Brentford
And they're fine for
away.
Europe.
Brentford away.
Also fine for Europe.
Arsenal, can't see them beating Arsenal. Newcastle away is very hard. Then Leeds, last day of the
game.
season.
It could be safe by then.
Yeah, I think West Ham, I'm looking at that, and I can only say, hand on heart, that guaranteed one win there. Not guaranteed, but most likely one win.
I would say, I reckon they probably beat Leeds on the final day. I reckon out of Everton at home and Brentford at home, they get at least a point in one of those. I reckon probably at least a point in the Palace game. That's 5 points already. Then now of Arsenal and Newcastle probably lose. Arsenal, Newcastle, and one of Brentford and Everton, they probably lose at least. They probably lose 3 of those.
How many points are they on now?
32. So I said that's 5. That's 5 points at least. Somehow I've got them on
Yeah, I have them on 5 points here. I got them finishing on 37.
37.
Yeah. And then you come to Spurs. I mean, I can't see us beating Brighton this weekend or drawing. Maybe a draw if we're extremely lucky. Wolves away, I mean, we're historically terrible at Wolves. But maybe we
just
can
take
get...
on the merit of the fixture.
On the merit of the fixture, we could win, but we could draw. We could easily draw that game. Villa loss.
We have to win that Wolves game. We have to.
Leeds.
Leeds at home.
I think Leeds should have their fate sealed by then of staying up. So I'm going for a win against Leeds. Chelsea loss. And Everton. I mean, that could be a massive game for Everton. That last day.
It could also be a dead rubber.
Could be. But I had in mind a win against Everton last day. Anyway, I had us finishing on 37.
So level. So we lose to... Yeah,
I
think, yeah, for sure we lose at Villa Park. I think we probably lose this weekend. I think out of Leeds, Wolves and Everton, 2 wins and a draw.
I had us beating Leeds and Everton and drawing at Wolves, and loss every other game.
With the form Chelsea are on, I wouldn't rule out getting anything out of that game.
We know you're not. They're going to turn into like prime Chelsea, from Eden Hazard's going to be resurrected and all that bullshit. Chelsea are going to. That's going to be the game where they win. Trust me. If they don't win any other game, they'll beat us that game. That's just Chelsea Spurs in a nutshell.
To stay up, I think Wolves away and Leeds at home have to be a given 3 points if we're going to stay up. Those have to be. And then we have to find a win out of one other win out of the other 4 games. Everton at home, Chelsea away, Villa away, Brighton at home.
So I had us picking 7 more points till the end of the season. So I had, Leeds, Everton, and a draw at Wolves. That's what I had.
I think if we don't win either of our next 2 games, it's done. We need to beat Wolves. We have to beat Wolves. We can't go into the final 4 games without having won a game.
Yeah.
Under De Zerbi. Just for the confidence in De Zerbi himself, we need to pick up a win in our next 2. I think Brighton at home, if we lose that, it's detrimental, but Wolves, I think that'll be it. If we don't beat Wolves, that's the final nail in the coffin. I can't see us having any sort of belief, knowing that Wolves are probably at that point already relegated and rock bottom of the league. Doesn't matter what form they've been on. That's the facts of the matter. They are bottom of the league, and they would probably mathematically would have been already relegated at that point.
Yeah, and you're also looking at
if we
the
can't
closest
beat them,
rival to us beating them 4-0 a week before
exactly.
as well.
So if you can't beat them, I think all belief in this team, all belief is already sapped, but any sort of lingering hopes that we can drag ourselves out of this situation, if we can't win that game, I think that's when the reality will really step into these players like, oh my God, we actually can't do it.
I think the reality is already there.
I think the fear is there, which is dragging this team down. But I don't think there's an acceptance yet that it's over, because it isn't over. But I think if we lose that Wolves game, you might see some of these players actually accepting their fate.
But like I said, I didn't have us winning up until that Leeds game, and in my predictions, I still have us surviving on goal difference. That's where I have it.
If we don't beat Wolves, I don't think we'd win on any other game.
I don't know. I wouldn't be so sure.
That's why I think we have to win that game.
I think regardless, it's going down to the last day, even if we don't beat Wolves.
Maybe we're going to win. Well, maybe we're going to win 6 for 6.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I think the reality is we're probably going to lose all 6 games.
But I think up until before yesterday, I was thinking Leeds were the ones that were going to drop down. But I think looking at these fixtures, it's between us and West Ham. I think Forest would have just enough to save themselves.
If you're looking at Leeds, yeah, they've just got quite a kind fixture list, don't they? Wolves, Burnley, that should be 6 points. Bournemouth way is difficult.
To be fair, Forest are definitely there because I only have Forest finishing a point above us. So it is. I think for me, Leeds are gonna. Their fixture list is too kind to play Wolves and Burnley at home.
Needed to lose yesterday.
Yeah, I think Leeds is gonna be completely fine.
If they get
Forest,
2
West
more
Ham,
wins,
and Spurs.
2 more wins, they're already on 42.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll win those. They'll win.
Leeds are safe.
Even if they don't win Wolves and Burnley, there's still games they can win there.
Leeds are safe. I have them here, finishing on 42 points.
So 2 wins, yeah. Wolves and Burnley. They're not safe yet until they win those, but I think they will.
Of course, they're not safe until they actually win, but I think they will win those games.
Yeah, I think they'll win. They'll win those games. God.
Well, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight, people. And it's all about...
You would probably say, do we have the kind of fixtures out of Forest and West Ham on paper?
I think so. I think so.
I mean, Forest, you have Burnley, but we have Wolves, though. Yeah, we probably have the kindest fixtures.
You'd probably prefer to play Burnley than Wolves right now, particularly Forest have them at home.
Yeah, Burnley at home, you'd probably rather that. Wolves away.
But I'm looking at the West Ham fixtures and the Nottingham. Both those sets of fixtures are harder than ours, in my opinion. Which gives me a little bit of hope, and also the hope that after a few games, De Zerbi can implement something. Because he didn't implement anything against Sunderland, let's be real. Hardly anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the more he has on the training pitch, the more games he has, the hope is that as the games progress, we'll see more things implemented in this team.
Agreed. God.
It's a very, very...
But it's so weird, it's a weird thing doing predictions because it's almost like for Tottenham, right now, it's like we've won 2 out of 23, so how can we predict anything? We've never in a million years predicted the form that we're on.
Yeah.
So it's completely unpredictable.
I know.
Right now.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, but you got to think of, can De Zerbi can he get anything into this team? Can he? He's a very good coach, so maybe he can.
It's possible. It's kind of like you have to believe it when you see it.
Yeah.
Instead of, I can't really predict he would until I start seeing it on the pitch.
Yeah. But like
right now, I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if it's 6 out of 6 losses, honestly. Right now.
Yeah, of course. You wouldn't be surprised with what you've seen. 100%.
The evidence suggests we probably won't win another game. That's what the evidence suggests.
Yep. But the evidence suggested also...
So if we're doing honest predictions, we'd probably say no wins.
The evidence also suggested after 5 games of Nuno at West Ham that they were going to sleepwalk into relegation too, and they were going to finish easily relegated by now. That's what the evidence was suggesting then. Things change.
Different. They had a lot longer, and they changed it a lot sooner.
I know. I agree with that.
And he had a lot more time to implement his stuff.
But things do change.
Yeah, but it changed. That's the point. It changed over a long stretch of time.
Yeah.
It took a long time to change it. De Zerbi literally has to change it now. He doesn't doesn't have one game, doesn't even have a half. He has to change it immediately.
Yeah. But I think even if we lose this game, it's not insurmountable to stay up.
No,
so
it's not. But
he's got 6 games, and he needs to pick up a minimum of 2 wins.
But no game is you can't. There's no game that can just be like, oh, okay, we didn't win that game. Like every
of
game
course.
we lose now is a disaster.
Yeah, 100%. But let's say we lose against Brighton and we gradually he implements stuff from now until the end of the season. We do go and pick up those 2 wins. Then I think it's still a possibility.
I think gradually implementing stuff at this point is going to be too little, too late. That's if I'm being honest. Obviously, you hope, maybe we could lose the next 3 and then win the last 3, and maybe that'll be fine. Man, look, that'd be great if we can do that. I'll take that right now. And
you never know what if we can get a win against Wolves, what that can do to this team as well, because they haven't tasted winning in so long.
Yeah, that's the main thing. The mental side of it has been these players are shot. They're absolutely shot of confidence. I think the weight of the situation is too much for them at the moment.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, that is that. I mean, we just have to get a win as soon as possible, and then I think maybe a bit of confidence can get into this team.
So, and is there anyone gonna step up these last 6 games and be our saviour? If you were to predict one player to step up in these last 6 games and save the day for us, be that guy that no one maybe expected, just a surprise, like a Richarlison for Everton, that kind of, he's going to be the guy to save us.
I'll say him.
Richarlison. Have to start playing him up front.
I would say Richarlison. I can't see it with Solanke. Solanke looks shot to pieces. Can't see it with Mawani. Maybe a Javi, if you actually give him a game. I don't know. Javi's had 1 Premier League goal all season. Richarlison is the guy, I think.
Biss. Someone says Biss.
I don't know.
What about Tell?
We need Mickey to get his head in the game again. Start scoring from some corners.
When's the last time we scored from a corner?
And it's like, our corners have been woeful for ages now. There was a time where we were scoring every week from a corner.
Yep. Let's dry it up.
Someone in the comments says Maddison.
Madders, I like that. Maddison's going to come in and save us.
Save the day. I don't know, man. But let us know. Is there any saving this, people? Just give me something. I need something. We got a super chat here from Steve Johnson saying, Leeds result yesterday put a nail in your coffin. If you look back a month ago when you were predicting points, every key result went against you. You really need to run the table now. It's true, like every result is going against us. It's just mad. I've never seen like so much go against us before. Like we've seen at Tottenham, like everything always is against it, but this is just too much, man.
Everything. Like everything that can go against us is currently going against us. It's insane.
It's mad. From injuries to decisions.
Even decisions in other games.
Martinez
getting sent off. And the no foul on who was it, Yoro? And he was getting elbowed by Calvert-Lewin. No foul given.
Massive deflected goal at Sunderland. It's just like, when will it end?
Mavropanos scoring a scissor kick. What the hell's going on? Mavropanos scoring a scissor kick. Like, it's like the whole Premier League is conspiring to relegate us.
This is like, I felt like this when Leicester won the league. Like everything was conspiring for Leicester to win the league. Everything.
Everyone's allowed to push.
The rest were in it. They were getting decisions. They were allowed to do what they want on the pitch. Everyone wanted Leicester to win the league, and now it feels like everyone just wants Tottenham to go down. They want the story. That's what it feels like.
Players are allowed to push our defenders, where we can't push their defenders. The whole thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Every game we're getting a season-ending injury. It's insane. The whole thing is insane.
Maybe Mr. Brian Daigle can give us a bit of positivity, eh?
Come on, Brian.
Maybe.
Come on, let's get him on.
Brian,
Hello,
give me
Brian.
something, man. Come on, please. I'm begging you.
First of all, I will say a couple of things. First of all, good morning to you, or afternoon to you guys, my brothers. Good afternoon, evening, everyone in the chat. If you see me keep looking down like that, the video's not working here, so I've got a black screen. So I want to make sure we don't interrupt. But you build up and say maybe I could give you some positivity. I think I've stepped into the wrong show. I think I've stepped into. I think I've stepped into the wrong
Tottenham, Brian. We're talking about Spurs.
Yeah, but do you know what? What I will say with the Leeds game and what you got, do you know what? Forget how well they played in the first half. They played superb. They were brilliant. They deserved their lead. The most impressive thing for me yesterday was when they went 2-1 down. Sorry, when they got the one goal, you would have thought, right, Manchester United threw the kitchen sink at them and were battering them and dominating them. And they dug in deep. They fought. They battled.
Darlow made a couple of great saves, didn't he?
Exactly. I mean, I'll tell you now. If that was us and we were and a team had scored a goal to come back, we would have capitulated. We would have capitulated.
When was the last time we had a lead to hang on to?
When was that? I mean, I don't know if you know it. I don't know if you can do it via WhatsApp like you do for Twitter. I sent you something in our group, the three of us, and it just highlights. Because it's a long thing, it's not a lot of words, but you'll see when it does it. When we're talking about getting a win, this just compounds it even more. When you look at all the other teams.
So basically, what you're saying is Tottenham haven't won a game of 107 days. The next after that is Burnley 62 days. Then after that is Brentford 45 days.
Yeah. So literally, we've almost doubled Burnley.
Yeah.
In games to get a win.
The last time we had a lead to hang on to in the last 10 minutes of a game was Sunderland at home. That was just after Palace.
That was what
we conceded in the 80th minute. It's exactly 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, that was the first home game in January, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at it. I mean, that's the worrying thing. And I'd been looking at this, and I was speaking to you about this as well last night, Ben. I've been looking at this the whole time, like we all have been as Spurs fans, right? Where can we get the wins from? Where can we get the wins from? Where are they coming? But I'd totally not even looked at it, that if the other teams win, that mean like for instance, like West Ham, if they win, like I think you were saying it yesterday, Ben, we need to guarantee 2 wins. It's not where are the wins coming from, it's if the above 3 that we're in talk with literally get a win or a draw, and we have to better every. That's the thing I don't see. I just can't see it.
You have to take it game by game, Brian. Just have to take it game by game. Just see where we are after each week, and that's the only way we can do it. Because if you look too far ahead, you start tying yourself up in knots and thinking, "Oh, how the hell are we going to do this?" Because it's like, well, we need 3 wins and 6. We haven't won, and this. You just have to take it game by game. Because right now, if you're doing predictions and you're doing if you're doing an honest prediction, we probably don't win any of our last 6 games. That's the truth.
Well,
if you're doing it based on anything, that analysis of the teams and all the stuff, if you're doing like any serious prediction, you're probably looking at it thinking, we're probably going to get a few draws and that's it. We'll probably win none of our last 6. So we just got to take it game by game and see where we are after each game and how we're playing. That's all we can do.
Tim, I agree. I literally said after the North London derby, we looked at the fixtures, I said I could see us getting maximum 4 to 6 points for the rest of the season, but they'd all be draws because I just couldn't see a win. I just could not see a win.
And how many points have we had since the derby? 1.
1.
Yeah,
1.
Anfield.
Liverpool.
You just can't make it up, can you? Like our only 2 points, in 2026 against Man City and Liverpool?
Yeah.
And Sunderland. Yeah.
How does that even make sense? How have we gone to Anfield, got a point against Man City at home?
When we were 2-0 down.
When we're 2-0 down. And lose every other game.
Yep, and you even look at it, we all know what our track record is at Anfield.
Yeah.
We all walked into that ground expecting like a cricket score.
Mm-hmm. And that game, we played Dragoshin, Danso and Sousa in the back four.
Sousa was on the right midfield.
That's true,
Sousa
right
played
midfield.
Yeah. Sorry, that's right. Yeah, I knew someone was out of position. That's the thing. That is the thing, boys. And like I said, if Leeds win Wednesday, and a lot of people, I don't know if you two were and what the chat were, a lot of people were saying Leeds are the one that we can catch. We think that they're going to capitulate. They're the ones, mate. If they beat Wolves, they're 9 points ahead of us, aren't they?
Yeah, 9 points with
Leeds are safe, Brian.
Yeah.
Leeds are safe.
Yeah,
in my
that
opinion.
literally means we need 4 wins, and then to lose everything. We haven't won in 4 months, 107 days. This is the thing, and there can be people saying, "Oh, it's negative," but when all these stats are backing it up, they're damning, aren't they?
They're fatal. That's what they are. Anyone just, if you take away all names out of all the teams in the Premier League and just look at it from form and how they're playing and take away everything else, there's no way we stay up. There's no way anyone can look at that and say that team is going to stay up. That team's going to get the wins. There's just nothing to suggest that.
Sim, Ben, we've got to the point. We deserve to go down. Not us, the fans, the football club. I mean, for what the product we're putting on the pitch.
Yeah.
We absolutely deserve to go down. Forget the club, the board, and all the drama outside it. Once they cross that white line, this team, whether people think they're good enough or whatever, or too good, for what they've put on there, they totally and utterly deserve to go down. And one of the things I've been saying since the North London Derby game, you can see how calm I am right now with this all. I'm after the North London Derby, it was like we were in big trouble. That was like, forget what happened with Frank and everything, which should, and like I said, I made a major fuck up. That was, but I've said some stupid things in my past, and not just Tottenham. But I want Frank for Spurs has to be the most stupidest things that have ever come out of my mouth. But forget what I will say with it though. When Frank left, we were 12 points above West Ham, and now we're obviously 2 points behind. We're 2 points behind them. But I've got to the point after the Arsenal game. Getting back to the point before I went on a tangent there. After the Arsenal game, I was like, "Yeah, we are. This ain't a joke. We are not like last year where we're 17th and the bottom teams were shit." But then after Forest, I was like, "It's done. It's done. It's done." I will be heartbroken. I will cry my eyes out. I will be raging at the factors away from the pitch, but I'm at peace with it. That doesn't mean I've just reached acceptance. I'm not going to get angry. There's going to be a lot of people. Should we lose to or we don't drop, West Ham, Forest, Leeds get more results and we don't pick up. There's going to be a lot of people that, with every passing game, are going to get absolutely furious. But I've passed that. It's like the 5 stages of grief or whatever they say. I am now at the final stage.
Yeah, but you feel like this now, Brian, but at the actual day it actually happens, I'm telling you, you're going to be raging.
Oh, no, mate.
If we actually go down, because it's not a reality until it's a reality, you know what I mean?
I will tell you right now, when we go down, I will be heartbroken. I will be angry. I will be everything. But my anger and everything isn't at the relegation now, because I've accepted that part. My anger, my fury and everything is going to be magnified 1 billion times towards the ownership, towards the board, and not just the ones that are here now, the bad decisions we've had over the years with Paul Mitchell. Just the really bizarre, I mean, even as petty as we hired a guy to get naming rights. He was here for 4 years or whatever it was, but yet still we don't have naming rights.
How much do you reckon he got paid to do that?
Mate, I think he was on like the 200,000-300,000. Like, you got to remember, he's that guy Todd Klein, and I know full well over here has brokered some of the biggest naming rights in North American sports across the umbrella of NFL, baseball, basketball. We bring him in because he's the best, and we still don't have a naming right. And
apparently they're just going to change. They're going to change. If we go down next season, they're going to just change the NFL to EFL on the stadium.
that's the plan. It's money saving.
Yeah, money saving.
Yeah. There you go. But yeah, like I said, Ben, as you're saying, when that day finally comes and it's like completely confirmed, I'm going to be like this about the actual situation, but about other aspects of this football club is where I'll be venting my anger, frustration, heartbreak, suffering, everything. You know what I mean?
Brian,
The heartbreak and
If we
suffering
do,
we're going
if we
through.
do go down, Brian, I'm telling you, every single game in the championship needs to be a bloody mass. There needs to be some sort of mass. I don't know what.
Who's gonna
Not
be
even
there?
protest. Just like I don't know what. But we
Yeah,
need to
but
do
mate, in all
something big.
honesty-
Every single game, these owners need to get it. Every single
just
game.
like a massive collective spit at the director's box.
Literally every single game.
A massive
These guys
loogie.
need to get it, man.
Mate, it needs to be done the final 3 home games as well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The kumbaya, clap the for players for all this crap, sing a song to make them feel special bollocks. Hasn't worked. Hasn't done anything. Maybe we need reverse psychology because these players can't play when we're absolutely supporting them and getting behind them. Then when the stadium's quiet, it doesn't work. Maybe, just maybe, if the crowd is as hostile as possible to them up the top, and it's like when Sol Judas Campbell came back, that kind of atmosphere, maybe the reverse psychology of players will be, my God, they listen to the roar, listen to the, who knows? But it's listen. I know Kern, I know Stuart very, very well. They're both wonderful people. Stuart who's spearheaded this. Count him as a very, very dear friend. We completely, totally, and utterly disagree on this.
On what? On what?
Wildly.
On what specifically?
Look, do
No,
I
wait,
understand?
Are you talking about what they did for the Forest game? The
Yeah.
fans. And
Yeah.
wait, just on that, what is your opinion on the fact that they tried to do it again for this weekend and apparently the club have said no? The club have said that the players are going to be driving in cars and they're not doing it this weekend. Like, what's your not reaction necessarily to whether you want it to happen, but the club itself, are the ones saying no?
So I watched the video. So there was a tweet from someone. I think it's called the Tottenham Feed. Is that? I think they're a Twitter group, Tottenham Feed or Tottenham something.
Yeah, Tottenham Feed, yeah.
So they posted a thing that said rumours are that the organisers of the Sing Up, Show Up, Stay Up people spoke to the same people to see if it should be redone at the Brighton match. And then there was the question from the Tottenham Feed saying, do you think this should happen again? Or words to that effect. Do you think it will work? Whatever. A mass majority were like, nope, absolutely not. Whether it's embarrassing, put too much pressure on, just a host of reasons. And Stuart then released a video where, when those people do the videos where they have the green screen with the tweet or whatever. So he did that. And he said, right, I just want to address all these things. He goes, I do want to confirm that there was a meeting. And the club have two things they said is, first of all, they don't know if the team are coming by coach or, as we now know, by their own personal transportation. But they don't want to talk to us till next week, till after the fight. So I'm like, right, so this altogether always that the club wanted to spew out was a one-time thing. 2 for 1 beers, one-time thing. They don't know. This organisation, I don't agree with it, but if fans want to do it, fine. Everyone knows my stance to this. I want pure fury at the ownership, but the club have turned around to them and said, we don't know if we're going to come in the coach, so how are they going to be able to build the atmosphere? And then the most telling point was, we can't talk about this till after the week, we're too busy with the fight, i.e. making more money for ENIC, and more important about the multi-purpose entertainment arena being used for an event. So the club, whether it went ahead or not, I wouldn't have agreed with it, but the club just, they serve up so much bullshit and people swallow it.
Forget about the bus parade, Brian, but I think it is imperative that the fans show the utmost support for the team in these last 6 games, particularly in the home games. I do believe that.
Yeah, like I said, Ben, you and I are going to differ on this. It's like you tried that. I remember the Crystal Palace 3-1 game. all across social media. Oh, there's loads of tickets available, and people going, oh, fans showing their true colours and not supporting the team when needed. 3-0 at half time, thousands walk out. And it's those people, as well as other people, but these people that say back the team, these people that say, oh my God, you're showing your true colours, they walk out. Nottingham Forest.
Forget about that, though. I'm talking about what we need to do.
This is my point.
Because that's what we need to do. We need to support the team till the bitter end.
The Nottingham Forest game, atmosphere outside was great. I've heard many things that was great. Like I said, I don't agree with it, but it was a great thing. Then the atmosphere was good until we won 1-0 down. Then 2-0 down. And then this altogether always, back the lads, 3-0, thousands walk out again.
Yeah, but so this happens at every club. Once the game looks like it's done,
but every
people
club
walk
isn't
out.
in our position. And I'll tell you one thing, Ben, every other club of the so-called top six, or that we're in the so-called top six, any of this was happening, there would be absolute carnage. They wouldn't be saying, oh, the players, we've got to give... There'd be absolute carnage for the position that the club have put us in. Like I said, people will disagree with me on this. There'll be people that wholeheartedly agree with me. And that's the thing, but all roads lead back to the situation we're in because of bad appointments, bad ownership, bad transfer recruitment, bad medical team, bad... I watched Sim's vlog. I could hear when I was in the Scotland Yard. The away fans, once again, as always, gave those boys everything. Everything. And they put in a performance like that.
Yeah.
That's just my view on it.
But the fans can't stop. The fans can't stop. They need to keep supporting the boys, and maybe something can turn. I'm not one saying it's a guarantee. It's not a guarantee.
All right, Ben. So why instead? Okay. I'll go with you on this. Maybe support the lads to begin with, but instead of walking out at the end of the game as if we're not winning or losing, sorry, we're drawing or losing. Why rather than walking out? Why not then? Let's say the 80th minute and you're 2 or 3-0 down. Why not then have 10 minutes? And the thing that makes me the thing that makes me chuckle about this, Ben and Sim, is when you were at the Forest game, you were in the West Stand.
Mm-hmm.
You got that video of the fraud Vinay walking out. Some of the people around him laughing, smirking. I heard more abuse from the West Stand, which is meant to be the glitz, the glamour, the posh, the don't get involved. There was more targeted at him there than in the entire stadium.
Yeah, there was.
The entire stadium.
Because these guys are paying a hell of a lot of money and they're locked into long contracts as well, which they can't get out of. Mate, they know they're going to be paying 10 grand in the championship to see this shit.
But Ben, this is the thing. They have loads of money. That money means nothing to them. But this is the whole point. There are people that sit in the South Stand, the East Stand, the North Stand, where your season ticket price is a huge expense with what's going on in the world today.
Yeah.
Those people up there, that means nothing to them, whatever their contract is. Yes, they want to see Premier League football. Yes, they want to see the best. But what they're paying for... If they're paying 12 grand a season or whatever it is for the H Club, or whatever the price is, that kind of money is irrelevant to them.
I completely agree with what you're saying in terms of... I think that is the best way to do it. Back the team until the game seems lost, and then completely go at the board. Throw everything you can at them for those last 10 minutes. Everyone stay in the stadium. Everyone stay in the stadium and let your voices be heard. I think that is the best way to do it.
But brother, I think the even easier way, because people will walk out and they won't do it, the easiest thing to do, and you don't miss any of the game, is why not for the first 5 minutes against Brighton, just stay in the concourses. There's hundreds of TVs.
It's De Zerbi's first home game.
Oh, that's good. All right. That'll give you. But okay, Leeds. Why not everyone for 5 minutes? Especially if it's obviously confirmed that it's done. For 5 minutes, possibly 10. God knows how long people can last. Just stay in the concourse. Don't spend money. Watch the game for 5-10 minutes. Can you imagine if there's thousands? Not that I hold my breath with Spurs fans. If thousands were in the concourse for 5 minutes. You don't miss any part of the match.
Oh, apart from 5 minutes.
Well, you know what? But see what I'm meaning. You're
We
not
could be
gonna
2-0
miss it.
down by then. They'll be ready to leave their seats.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You could see it on the TVs in the concourse.
Ah, right. Yeah, fair point.
You know what I mean? So you're not missing. You might miss 5 minutes actually sitting in your seat, but as you know, there's hundreds of TVs around that place.
Yeah.
Just watch 5 minutes together, 10, whatever the minute you want to do. There'll be a huge. Obviously, it won't be like, oh my God, there's a few people running late. It will be, if it could be arranged, it will be huge and show everyone. The media will pick it up instantly. Then you walk in after 5, 10 minutes, whatever. No one has to scream Enoch out. No one has to scream at the board. No one has to make it hostile, even though I wish it was. It's a silent protest. You walk back in and it shows something rather than these planned walkouts and no one does it.
Brian, how close are you to Stell's position at the moment?
Mate, listen, I've said it from the beginning. I am absolutely, I think Stell is absolutely delusional with what he's saying. With delegation. I'm just going to read a stat to you that my very, very dear friend Craig O'Sullivan tweeted. Just to paint a picture, because he did the research of it. Let me find it. Where is it? Okay. The club with the highest turnover ever to get relegated were Leicester at around 200 million. Ours is 550 million. It's over double what Leicester went. And if people and I've heard you both say this, if anyone thinks when we go down, Enoch is going to go, oh my God, this relegation bad. Now change. They've had 25 years to do it. It doesn't matter whether we have been challenging for the title, trying to break into the Europa League or whatever it was. Yeah, it was always called the Europa League with Enoch. Whether it had been trying to get even conference, whatever it is.
No, it was UEFA Cup with Enoch, wasn't it? Because we played Sevilla in the UEFA Cup.
There you go. So UEFA Cup, Europa League, we've been challenging for to get into, and obviously, or whether we've been where we are, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. When we've been challenging for titles, normally clubs will go, right, let's strengthen. Look what Man City did. I know, listen, people will go, yeah, Man City with their money. They went and got two people. One had a buyout clause. One was in the last 6 months of his contract. Instant quality, and they've got quality all over.
There was plenty of opportunities for Spurs to bring in players this January. Plenty.
Exactly. Then you look at it. West Ham bought 2 players for their front line. Look where they are now. So even though the cost of going down is absolutely humongous, and they know exactly what it will do to their valuation of the club and everything that goes along with it, no.
But you don't want the fans to show support for the team in the last 6 games.
Say that again. Sorry. Well, no, it's not that. I mate, there's nothing. I didn't say not support them.
That's all I'm saying.
Didn't say not support them. I said that place needs to be at times like it was when Judas first came back. This board have caused, and Vinay and Lange have caused us such pain, suffering, embarrassment. We're having to witness the rot, but we're like, yeah, okay, yeah, just carry on. You got to remember, and we talk about
this board they deserve it more than Sol Campbell, to be honest. This board, they're a bigger detriment to this club to Sol Campbell.
I've said it for years. Judas only fucked us over once.
Yeah,
that's it. But then you look at it. We talk about, like you said, Ben, about supporting the team and a bit. Mate, Manchester United, when they've been winning cup finals throughout the game, have been singing "We Want the Glazers Out." Does it affect them?
Look at Arsenal, Brian. Arsenal finished 8th twice in a row. They had tens of thousands of people outside the Emirates protesting against the board.
Yep, and a game where they didn't turn up, and they didn't have a game where they turned up, and that was the. And this is one thing I do completely agree with Stell, because Stell brought this to my attention. They finished 8th twice, and that's when they brought in Just Concrete and said that's the line, that's the level of embarrassment. We are Arsenal. This is not what we do. And yes, they could lose the league 4 times in a row. It's possible, but you know what? I'd rather be where they are, challenging and falling off for the final hurdle, rather than watching a decline and getting worse. So Man U fans did it. Newcastle fans were doing it constantly. I mean, Newcastle, obviously, it was up and down with them, with what they were going through with Ashley. So when they say, oh, it will affect the players, I don't know if having the atmosphere where the board are getting attacked, and it is unanimous.
For all we know, the players might back it with what Romero's been saying.
Exactly. You know what I mean? When boxers go into fights, they don't go shh. It's raucous. I mean, obviously, it's a much raucous of we're going into war. The battles are all being lost. We're about to have a massive war with our Premier League survival with the other clubs, and what we're going to do? Sing songs and just forget
the team.
situation.
Yeah. That's what fans do to support the team.
Mate, let's see, this is the thing. This is disingenuous, because if you go against the board and want to do something, that doesn't mean you're not a fan.
I agree with that.
But this is the thing, and this is why, unfortunately, nothing will ever happen. There'll be people like myself, Stell, you guys, and others that will, Billy Carnes, like I mentioned, or the Unique Out group that I'm part of still and consider family. There's people like Graham. There's people in your chat that attend protests that will turn up no matter what. No matter what.
Brian, let me ask you a question. If it took Spurs being relegated to get mass protests, would it be something worth doing?
Mate, no. Like I said, I've accepted relegation. What I will say, you say to it, would it be warranted to get mass protests? I look at it the other side of the coin and say, why has it taken this?
No, I agree. I'm just saying, if I offered you that option, like we get relegated, but mass
but you know
protests
what?
start,
I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people when Change for Tottenham said they're gonna back down and not protest or arrange anything because we can't upset people. You look at these people. We would never have backed down. We would have never have backed down. And I've seen so many people on that tweet go, do you know what? It's the right move. Wait till we know whether we're staying up or go down. Then I'm in. Then I'm going to... Do you know how many times I've heard things like this? And also, I'll tell you now. I will tell you right now, because I know this Spurs fan base is a majority. The ones that said, once we know we're up or down, I'm going to protest. If we survive, they'll go, oh my God, thank God. Oh, thank God. What a horrible, horrible season. Let's just enjoy the summer, the World Cup. Let's see how England do, and we'll regroup after the transfer window. And then once we're left short again, oh well, there's always something. There's always an excuse. I think, Sim, relegation is the only way that mass protests start. If we survive, people will just go, like I said, oh my God, oh to a summer's day. We stayed up. we stayed up. Oh rejoice, oh rejoice. Let's have a parade. Let's go out there and sing songs. And then we'll deal with it after the work. That's what this fan base does. It's what this fan base does. So
it kind of sounds like you do want us to go down.
Mate, no, that's not what I said. Sim, I said
but
I'm
you do want
relegation.
Mass protests, and the only way of getting that is us going down.
I want us to stay up. I want us to stay up. What I'm saying is I know what the Spurs fan base will do.
Right.
All the ones that talk the talk but don't walk the walk, that say, oh yes, let's wait till we know we've survived, and once we've survived, then I'm all in. But once we survived, oh, that was a close call. That's close. Let's just see. It's always what happens, buddy. It's always what happens.
How many wins do you think we actually need?
Need 3.
3 minimum.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many do I think we'll get? 0.
You think no wins from now to the end of the season? That's it.
Nope.
Do you think De Zerbi
Mate, put it
stays
this way.
if we go down?
The reason that, sorry, so what would you say, Sim?
No, you go. What were you going to say first?
No, what I was about to say, I'll give you my rationale behind it. We got 3 home games. We ain't winning any of them. And if anyone says we're going to, just look over the last 2 years. We have the worst home record. And coming into our ground this week is a team that won 5 out of the last 6. That are fighting for Europe. They're not just coming here to play. They're coming here to fight. Leeds. Leeds might be able to get a draw zone, but they like I said, we think we're out of it now. But should they win against, let's just say they lose to Burnley by some miraculous way, then the pressure's on. And Leeds, like I've said about Nottingham Forest and West Ham, the advantage they have over us is they have been in this situation time and time again. Their clubs know, not just the players, their clubs know what this is about. If this was the 4 of us trying to get a European spot, we'd have the advantage. Because we've been there, we've done it, but we haven't got anything to do with relegation apart from with Charleston, with Everton, as you were mentioning. So Leeds, should they lose, I think they look what they did at Manchester United, fighting for their lives. And Everton, which I think in all fairness it will be done before Everton. Everton still have an outside chance of the Champions League and Europa League. And also, Ben, what was you saying? 2nd or 3rd or 4th best away record in the league?
4th, yeah, I think 4th best away record in the league.
Against the worst home form in the league. And we can keep saying we've beaten, we're going to win, we're at home. It's a myth.
They're playing West Ham. They're playing West Ham at West Ham as well.
Yeah, but I think come the final game of the season, it'll be already wrapped up, bro. I think it'll already be wrapped up. And do you know what? Unfortunately, I think that Leeds game could be the game. Oh yeah, no, let's do away to Villa. I just can't see it. Wolves just forgot. Like I said to you, Ben, I will never ever go to a Wolves game again, home or away, ever. We are to Wolves what we are to Manchester City.
Yeah, literally.
Like it doesn't. When we went there last year, you and I walked in, and as we're walking in, we were saying, "What do we do first? Do we give away a needless early free kick, or do we concede an early goal?" We conceded an early free kick that led to a goal.
Yep.
And that performance was shambolic. Wolves, and I'll tell you one thing Wolves have done very smart. Just going off, they brought in Armstrong from Southampton, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it was Southampton. So when they do go back down to the Championship, they've got a 25 goal a season Championship ready player who's been there, done it, got it. But yeah, like I said, people can disagree with me with the results. De Zerbi has said he's not going to try and make things too complicated. So they're not even getting the basics. I mean, obviously he's got more time to play these games. I just put it this way: if our squad was Leeds, West Ham's, or Forest, where we are right now, I'd say we've got a real fighting chance.
Where are you at with the Romero Danso thing? Because we're having a bit of a debate, Sim saying Romero's injury is completely detrimental, but in my opinion, I think Danso's been a lot better than Romero this season.
Ben, you know my love for Kevin Danso. And
What about your
I'll
love
tell
for
you
Romero?
what, I can remember when you were away because of Grandpa, and I was running and doing the updates for you and everything. That whole Kevin Danso story came about. And I'll be honest, I hadn't even heard of Kevin Danso from them. I didn't even know who he was, where he was from. But everyone was going mad that Wolves wanted him. He's a Wolves reject, or Wolves are going for him. Wolves recruitment, I know they're in a bad place now, but if you look at the players Wolves have gone on to sell, their recruitment is better than ours.
Yeah.
And Kevin Danso has come in, and I've said it for ages. I think we look more stable. Not saying we'll win, lose or draw. I think that defensive line has looked its strongest when Danso's in the team. I know
agree.
Romero, Van der Ven are the two, but Danso, through the whole Tudor era, Danso, Gray, Tell were the only three you could say guaranteed tried every single game. Kevin Danso is an old school defender that absolutely loves to defend, without a question of a doubt, the most aerial dominant defender we have.
Yeah.
And I'll say probably one of the most aerial dominant defenders in the league, if I'm honest. He just does not lose, as Frank called him, magnet head. I think he is so underrated. Yes, he's not got the passing ability or the of Romero, the pace of Van der Ven. This guy is a guy that loves to defend, and whenever he's on the pitch, not once do I doubt his commitment, his desire, his hunger. I honestly think he should be captain next season.
Captain?
Next season. I think he should be. I think we look... Championship. Well, I would hope he would
If
stay.
we stay up, would you make him captain?
Yes.
I wouldn't make him captain if we stay up. But if we go down, I think there's a case for it.
No, what I'm saying, Ben, we've stayed up. I'm talking about we don't know
if we
who we're
go
bringing
down.
in
Who
right
if we go down? Who's going to be captain?
Well, actually, put it this way: if
You think
we
Madison
stay
will
up,
stay?
Yeah, I think he's.
If he stays, then yeah, I agree,
think
Madison.
will stay, yeah.
If he
No,
stays,
I was
yeah.
about to say, if we stay up, it'll probably be Madison. But Danso definitely has to be on the leadership team, whatever the fuck. Like, he has to be part of it. But if we went down and players like Madison left or whatever, and I'm just, when I said captains, when I was saying about in the Premier League, I was talking about right now we don't know who we're signing. But out of this current squad that we have now, Kevin Danso, but taking away Romero, I think Danso's I'd love him as captain. I'd love him as captain. I really, really don't know if people have been able to crack my code, but I love him. Love him.
I don't know why you love him so much. He's a decent defender. That's all he is.
No, man, I think he's better than that. Do you know what I've said to you guys before as well? When we've had players back in the day, like Colin Calderwood, Justin Edinburgh, Dean Austin, Steve Sedgley, Paul Stewart, Paul Allen, all those, Steve. Like you look at that, we've had players that have all the ability, all the characteristics and attributes we're missing. They might not have been the best technical, but they're leaders, they're fighters, they play with passion, desire, and all those words that go along with it.
I don't think he's a leader. He's a fighter.
Look, again, it's open to what people think. I think that he is 100% dependable. Yes, he needs to work on his passing ability, but he will run through a brick wall for this club. He will literally blood, sweat, and tears, and he has all the attributes and characteristics of what this squad needs and lacks. Of all those mental toughness, like I said, right now for me, it's not even about who's got the technically better players with all the others. All those Leeds players showed last night, and West Ham players showed fight, commitment, and hunger. Danso's got all three of those, and we've got a lot of the starting squad and bench that don't have any of them.
I just think it's classic. It's classic what we do with all the players, all the ones who are out, all the ones who are injured, all the ones who don't play as much. They all get talked up because they're not in the team as much. And if Danto had played every game this season, we'll be going in on him as much as anyone else.
But we all credit him when he plays.
We don't.
Yeah, we do.
Mate, honestly,
I'm telling you, if he had played as much as the other defenders, you would be going in on him as much as anyone else. I'm telling you.
Sim, I'm not saying he's Premier League elect. I'm not saying team of the year, he's one of the best defenders in the league. I just said he's wildly underrated. He doesn't get the credit that he's due. And like I said, all those attributes that we're lacking, he has. I would say there's things that you say, it's a skill or a will issue. And if you've got a skill or a will issue, a skill issue, you can train. whether you work like I did for Booking.com as team leader of 40 people, and it was like they're lacking on something and I can help them with that. You can help people with a skill deficit. But if it's a will issue, nothing you can do. Because that's down to the person. That's down to the employee or whatever. So Danso, I don't think is a will issue at all. Does he have certain attributes on the pitch that he needs to improve? Ball playing being one of them. Yes.
I think we can all agree, as an actual player, out and out player, nothing else involved, Romero's a better player than Danso for sure. But I just don't think Danso has let us down this season.
Yeah.
He's only played 11 games, that's why.
And what 11 games it was.
Was it?
This is the thing. It's like I said. Do you know what it is as well? We're looking at it. It's just such a mess at this football club that as fans, we're arguing over. Like we're not arguing, but discussing what Danso brings to the team. Is he the right one? Again, recruitment has been so shambolic over the years. I would say if you look at all the January transfer windows, the only hits we've had is Dele Alli, obviously Bentancur and Kulusevski. And I when I say the hits, I mean the impact they had straight away. Obviously their injuries and everything, what they did when they first came, they immediately had an impact. Would you say Lucas Moura? I mean, he had the famous Ajax game. But it was very, very, very. Would you say, look, taking out what that semi-final meant and that hat trick, take that out. Was he a hit or a miss?
I would say I don't think he was. He wasn't a resounding hit. Definitely wasn't a miss.
Who?
Okay, yes, so somewhere in between.
He was fine.
He was a good player for us. He wasn't anything more than that.
And then I'd say Kevin Danso. That's it in January's.
I don't even think Kevin Danso has been like a resoundingly success story for Spurs. I just think he tries his hardest every time he gets on the pitch, and we can't say that for a lot of players.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It comes to the point where if the ship was sinking, I'd want Danso helping me bucket the water out over any of our centre backs.
Yeah.
You go into war, you want players up for war, up for battle, and you can never, ever, ever put it this way. The Nottingham Forest goal, the second goal, when Romero's casually jogging back, Danso wouldn't be doing that. That's it. When playing, look at Conor Gallagher with that. Not saying Danso would be in midfield, but if that was in a defensive position, do you reckon Danso would be just jogging next to the Sunderland player?
I think Danso in the last since when was the Champions League group phase? Since that, I think he's started in all our wins. Started against Frankfurt, started against Dortmund, started against Palace. I don't think we won any of the other games.
Mate, also, how superb was he at Everton when we went?
The 3-0 game, yeah.
Yeah.
It was good, that game.
He was superb. Him and Van de Ven.
It says here we concede more goals when Danso's playing.
What, on a whole, or just this season?
This season.
How many more?
When Danso plays, we concede at 1.89. And when Romero's playing, we concede 1.49.
Van de Ven?
What's this? Net goals per...
And Van de Ven?
Van de Ven? 1.47, so similar to Romero. So our goals conceded goes up when Danso plays, fairly significantly.
Yeah.
Is
Also, it was
1.49
Romero
to
and Van de Ven at the
1.89?
beginning of the season when we weren't conceding any goals.
Mm-hmm.
No, like I said, this is where opinions split. But like I said, I going into war and knowing that if I had to pick a team of people that I absolutely knew were going to give their all, Danso gets in it.
Yeah.
Danso gets in it.
We also score less when Danso's playing.
Oh yeah, he's a major factor in goal scoring, isn't he? The prolific Danso.
Romero and Van de Ven are our two highest goal scorers.
Yeah, no, you know what? There's a point to that. There's a point to that. But I will say that's because Danso's taking the throws, which don't work. Do you know what as well? Does anyone else think this? We've got in a guy that's got long throws, but at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, you've got to run up a ramp to get any trajectory, so you're losing trajectory immediately. I'm not saying it's like you look at all the other clubs, it's flat. Spurs have got, and I'm not using this as an excuse like Gyökeres, the pitch is dry. But you're running up an incline. It's craziness.
Also, Romero has wins more aerial duels than Danso.
Oh, that
Really?
can't be right.
That can't.
True.
Yeah.
Romero 72%, Danso 67.
That's crazy if that's true.
Yeah, Romero 72%. Danso 67%.
That's madness.
Well, there you go. There you go. Well, that's whatever. I love Kevin Danso, and no one's going to change that.
Okay.
He's my Austrian, my only Austrian.
My one and only Austrian.
Exactly. Exactly, brother.
All right, Brian. Let's leave it there.
No worries, brother.
We're gonna
Always a pleasure to
react
see
to
you
some
guys.
comments now, and then I need to get home.
Yeah,
Alright, you
comment,
do that,
you want
Rosie.
to leave us a comment quickly? We'll react to it.
Danso is the GOAT.
There you go. Then yes, agreed. Ballon d'Or.
Big up, Brian. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Much love to you guys. Enoch out. Speak to you later. Much love.
See you later, man. Big up to Brian as always. Let's get into these comments. Let's react to some more of your comments, and let's see where we're at with them.
All right, let's do this. All right, first comment from NoirFan84 says, crazy how you boys have been in denial and burying your head in the sand, believing that De Zerbi will come in and be an instant saviour. Every non-Spurs fan knew that was unlikely. Spurs don't get a new manager bounce either. They've tried with a few managers now. It doesn't work. I think it's all going to come down to the winner of what Spurs versus Leeds game to decide who goes. It's still likely to go down to the final day of the season to decide your fate, though. Crazy times. Spurs really can't talk with chest to any other club in this league after the embarrassment of the last couple of these, because this hasn't just been a one-off now. You're becoming a seasoned relegation-threatened club.
It's true.
He says we're in denial and burying our heads in the sand about De Zerbi coming in.
I don't think there's
and
anything
changing.
false in that comment at all. I think everything is true.
We're still in denial and still deluded. We didn't say deluded, just we said burying our heads in the sand.
I'm definitely deluded.
So you're back on Spurs and staying up train after the
I'm just praying, man. I'm just praying.
Just praying. Terry Hull says, was convinced we'd be relegated since January when nobody else thought we would. Now I'm calling it. We'll stay up. We'll get 4 wins from the last 6, survive comfortably. We'll beat Brighton on the weekend, and the rest with all drop points. Watch.
All right, I believe him.
There's Terry. You said he
I believe him.
Who are you, Terry? I hope you picked the lottery numbers and you're absolutely spot on, because That would be some prediction.
Terry, you are deluded.
he said in January he was convinced we were going down, and now he's flipped.
How?
What's happened?
What's changed?
That's made you change your mind. That's crazy.
That is madness. In January, to be fair, we weren't having the odd win in January. We literally had the worst January known to man.
Yeah, and he says now he's convinced we'll stay up 4 wins and 6.
4 wins and 6.
It's called cognitive dissonance.
Please, I hope he's right, man. Praying.
Wendell says, what happens to We Are Tottenham TV next season? Will you still provide the same coverage in the EFL? I hope you still do something. I enjoyed the show.
We ain't going anywhere. We ain't going anywhere. Spurs getting relegated.
People
We'll be
are worried about the future.
Predict the championship. We're going to be doing EFL content every single day. We'll be here for it, people. We ain't going anywhere.
He's worried about the future of the show. He said he enjoys the show. He doesn't want us to go anywhere. He's worried.
We ain't going anywhere.
He's worried that we're going to dissipate in quicksand into existence. Once we're in the championship, Tottenham will cease to exist.
Relegation can't stop us.
Remember, it's We Are Tottenham TV, not We Are Tottenham TV Premier League.
Exactly.
So we'll be here no matter what.
And we'll still be providing Premier League content on the ball as well.
We're gonna have to pick a Premier League.
We'll be laughing at every single. I support every team who plays against Arsenal. That's what it is.
IDK says we are dumb boys. It was an honour. It's like
I don't know why we're even laughing at that. That is like.
It's like the guy going down. It's like when you're going into battle knowing you're about to lose. It's like 1 on 100 or something, and not 1. It has to be 2. 2 on 100. It says just turn around and said, "Yeah, we're going down, but it was an honour. But we're going to go down. We're going to go into this fight, but we know it's sinking. We know it's a lost cause."
6 games to go, man.
The honour's all been ours. The honour's been ours. But we're not going anywhere.
Exactly. This show continues, man. The party goes on, just into the championship.
It's been an honour. I love that, as if like we're never going to hear from him again now. It's been an honour. Markster says, these lads need a hug.
Oh, God. I swear, this season has just been so emotionally draining.
Wait, which lads? Us or the players? Who's he talking about?
I think everyone does, to be fair. Anyone connected to Tottenham Hotspur need a hug right now. Have needed a hug for a long time. Will continue to need a hug. Probably well into next season. Probably till the end of next season.
Apache says, we are Tottenham TV relegated to hospital radio. In the comments here. No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Alexander Drov says, refs have been against us. How about the club itself being against us? Maybe these refs also want to put us out of our misery for being the absolute disgrace of a football club. I cannot blame them or anyone else that wants us to go down. We fully deserve it. We are the worst team in the Premier League. Thank you, Levy and Enoch, and all the pathetic garbage that ran this club. Enjoy the championship next year. I will not watch it.
Well, I will be watching. And
he said it's not the refs is against us, it's the club being against itself.
Can't both things be true?
We're against ourselves.
I think both things are true. The club's against us, the refs are against us, everyone's against us. It is. That's the reality.
Everyone's against us.
This ownership is most definitely against us. I have
100%.
no clue.
HQZ says, I think the game was good. I liked their energy. The goalkeeper was amazing. Just unlucky. Everyone has losses. Everyone has losses there, so it was not that bad. We just need a win, and it will start something. He said it was a good game. He liked the energy. He liked the energy.
It wasn't a good game.
Goalkeeper was amazing. Just unlucky.
It was not a good game. The goalkeeper had a good game. I don't think about amazing. He was decent, but it was not a good game. I think we had about 5 minutes at the beginning where we were thinking, wow, De Zerbi's really kicked these players. But then it petered out very quickly. So it was not a good game. We didn't deserve to win. Hopefully it will get better next game.
So, but he says it was just unlucky. That's all it was. Well, a bit of luck goes our way, and we'll be cooking.
We were unlucky in a sense about the refereeing decisions and the goal that went in. That was unlucky.
Where are we? Alex Druv again says, conspiracy. Yeah, aliens plotting against Spurs to get relegated. Everyone hates us. The only reason we are in the position we are in is because, number one, we are cursed, 2 voodoo spells, 3 aliens hating Spurs, and 4 referees against Spurs. What else am I forgetting?
Shit ownership that we have as well.
You're saying it's all just a conspiracy, is it?
Shit ownership, shit decisions, and then all of that on top of it as well. Doesn't help.
He's saying we're just using excuses, I think. That's what he's trying to
Look,
say.
it is. At the end of the day, it is. But you also can't dance around from the fact that we are getting ref differently, in my opinion. We are. I think it's been proven week after week, decision after decision. And I agree that even with the refereeing decisions, we'll still be probably in this mess. We still probably would be. Might have a couple more points on the board. The ownership won't get away with it, but the refereeing decisions have been atrocious against us. They have been.
And it's just plain to see, like, inconsistent decisions, like with the pole pushing thing. It's just very clear there. I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a conspiracy, but we're getting
It is a conspiracy.
It could well be. It could well be unconscious bias. I don't think they're consciously making those decisions, but just like with the Leicester thing, Leicester were getting the rub of the green because everyone unconsciously wanted them to win the league.
No, everyone consciously wanted Leicester to win the league.
Well, consciously, yeah. But I don't think they're consciously making wrong decisions. Well, maybe Clattenburg was, but...
See what I mean?
Jules Mond 6394 says, I'm totally with Ben and not Sim in the Danso argument, which is the first time ludicrous for Sim to say it doesn't matter that Danso's been playing better, but the Romero is a better player. It only matters who is playing better. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I just think we have a better chance of staying up if Romero's fit. And I think if Romero's in the team, we have a better chance of staying up. And I think him going down for the season now is very detrimental to us, like very. And I think Danso coming in is not as good, and it's a blow, and it makes us a lot less likely to stay up. And I think for me, losing your bet for me, one of our best players, as we have, is a problem. It's a big problem. Even just for goal scoring points of view, Romero can come up with a goal as well. I think we need someone who can step up in big moments. I think Romero is more likely to do it than Danso. Danso is, look, I don't mind him. He's just a fine squad player centre back. He's okay, but he's just not great. That's it.
I think he's a decent player, Danso. I just feel as well with Romero, you just have to worry about that extra element of that. He gets ref differently. He's likely to get booking and sending off. He's even one more booking away from 2-match ban.
Well, I think it's gone now, but it doesn't matter.
Wasn't it one more booking away? When did that end?
I think it's ended.
What, after last game?
Yeah. Doesn't matter anymore, though. He's out for the season.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, I do like Romero. I like him, and I obviously I think he's a better player than Kevin Danso. And I think when Romero's on top form, there's not many better players than him, but he just hasn't been on top form for a while. He hasn't. And I think in the last few months, I think Danso's been better than him.
I just think Romero, even the form he is in, is better than Danso. That's just my opinion. I just think Danso is just average, even at his best.
Romero's been worse than average though in the last few months.
I think he's been average at his worst. That's my opinion.
He's been worse than average. He's been getting sent off. He's been making mistakes, concede goals.
So is Danso. We just don't highlight them as much.
Of course we would.
Vitalize says Sim is talking shit. Season isn't over because Romero is out. Danso is a very good defender, and Sim is just rubbishing him off like he's some championship level defender. He has always done well for us. Danso for Romero is not a massive step down as he is making out. Look, I think he is. He doesn't even start for Austria. You think Romero's not getting in the Austria team? Like, come on. He's not championship. He's probably Premier League level, but he's like a bottom half Premier League player. That's what he is.
Definitely Premier League level.
Probably like bottom half. Bottom half, maybe like a lower bottom half. Upper bottom half Premier League defender. That's kind of what he is, which is fine for what we need right now. but it's a massive step down from Romero, in my opinion.
That's why I don't think because of that quality, he's not just because Romero's out for the season doesn't mean the season's done. There's a lot more going into it.
I mean, the season's done for many other reasons.
Yeah,
not just
but
Romero.
I'm saying if you could just say there's a chance of staying up with Romero without I think there's still a chance to stay up with Danso.
Yeah, but the margins could be so fine, right? Very small margins. Losing a player like Romero, I think, massively decreases our chances, in my opinion, because I think he could be the difference. I really think he could have been the difference, but I'm not going to know that now. Danso's
Difference though, he hasn't been the difference for ages. Since that run he went on from scoring a few goals, what's he done?
What's Danso done?
He's been a good player for us, and he's been involved in all our wins.
And Romero wasn't involved in any of those wins and playing well?
He was involved in some of them.
Yeah, and played well. So,
But he's also, obviously he's played more and he's had more of a detriment to the team.
because he's played more. If
Yeah.
Danso had played more, he'd probably also, because we've been terrible, not just because of Romero. Volkov127 says, Sim, really you are deluded, mate. Romero has been bang average, and him going injured is now the catalyst for us going down. Danso, whenever asked, has come in and not let the side down. You're not giving him credit at all. We're probably going down with or without Romero at this point. I really don't care if Romero or Van der Ven goes next season. Too many players in the squad have not performed, and I won't be sorry to see the back of them.
Agreed.
That's fine. Romero's been bang average. Right, he has been bang average, but Danso is bang average. That's my point. He's just a bang average defender. And I think Romero has the ability to be better, at least. And that ability gives us a chance. But, look, that's my opinion. I've been over it now, so can't be asked to go over it again. Supan Weera Singh says, small actions compound, and right now Spurs are living the result of too many short-term easy decisions instead of the right ones. We finally had a chance to reset after winning the Europa League, to build something strong and sustainable. Instead, we sacked the manager, sold the captain, and let go of last season's top goal scorer. It's hard to make sense of it. The ownership deserves the consequences of these choices. The fans don't. The only silver lining is that maybe this forces real change. If we do go down, hopefully we come back wiser, stronger, and run like a proper football club.
That sounds like a Stellagite.
The Selegites are coming into the
That
comments.
sounds like he's bang on Stellagation, he or she.
But I think you're right. I think it's obviously there have been many big decisions we got wrong, but it's also loads of little small decisions that just compound over time.
It's small and big. It just feels like every decision has been wrong, particularly this season. Every single one. And that's why we're in the mess that we're in. It's an absolute concoction of bullshit that this board has served us up with.
Where are we? Graham 8683 says, after we beat Everton at the end of October, we were third in the table, winning 5, drawing 2, losing 2 out of our 9 matches. Since then, we have won just 2 of the next 23 and gained a paltry 13 points. We have been the worst team by far during that period, and from what I saw at Sunderland yesterday, Zerbi is not going to be able to fix it in time that we have left. Let's be realistic. We are going down.
That is the logical explanation of things. It is. That is the logical explanation. But sometimes football is not logical. And that's
Sometimes things happen that defy logic. Like Spurs getting that point at Anfield, that defied logic, and we somehow got it. Lots of things defy logic. Wolves beating Liverpool and Villa in back-to-back home games when they're already down. That defies logic.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things that happen.
I think we just need something to go for us in these next couple of games. If something goes for us in these next couple of games, that gives us a fighting chance. If it doesn't, like you said, don't know, then it looks bleak.
Fran Mulvaney says, in Italy there'd be riots this weekend in that stadium.
Yeah, probably.
Do we need show a bit more Italian?
We need the Italian ultras.
What is it about England where we like to complain, but we don't. In other countries, in France or Italy or even Spain, there'll be proper action taken when things like this. Imagine if a club like, let's say like a Roma or Napoli or whatever, if they were going through what we're going through, there'd be absolute carnage.
I think it's mainly Spurs, to be honest, because I think Arsenal fans took action, Man United fans have taken action.
No, but even their action wasn't to the extent. Well, maybe United because they broke into the stadium, but like there would be proper action going on it, like in Italy.
But like, look at the action Arsenal took compared to what Spurs are doing, and that was just for a couple of 8th place finishes.
Yeah, and we're just not doing anything.
And we're just passively going through by saying like,
lining the streets to support the team. That's what
which I backed.
Which is fine, but we're not. We don't take any action, do we, as a fan base?
We don't take it. I think the Spurs fan base have a very weak backbone, man. That's the reality.
We'll just take it.
Because everything anyone says was like, oh, do you remember how bad we were in the 90s? I mean, this is worse now, though.
Yeah, we are actually worse than we were in the 90s. We've finally hit that point.
Yeah, everyone always used to go about, oh, you don't know how good you got it. Remember how bad we were in the 90s.
Well, now look at us.
Exactly.
We're never in the championship in the 90s.
No.
The Casio man said, does anyone else feel strangely at peace with us going down? The owners deserve to lose a lot of money for how they have run this club so poorly.
I am definitely not at peace with it. I am so far away from at peace with going down. It's unbelievable. Like, I don't know what I'll do if Spurs go down. Seriously. I am literally losing sleep over it. I am.
Everything.
I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, we cannot go down. But it looks like we are going down. So I don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah, I'm definitely not at peace with it, but I haven't accepted it, but I've come to the realization that it's happening. That's where I'm at, but I don't know what I do with that information.
There's nothing we can do.
It definitely hasn't caused me anything. Peace is the opposite of what it gives me.
Literally.
Nightmares, sleepless nights. But
It's
it is
like-
happening, so I don't know. It's like looking into the abyss, and it's getting closer and closer. There's nothing we can do to stop it. Ben, you'll be able to see them for cheaper and more games.
I prefer to spend the money and see
There's
them in the
more
Premier League.
At least Spurs will get on ITV. So
What is the Championship on ITV?
Is it? Well, mate, is it the highlights? No, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait now till
If we actually go down, what do you reckon our average attendance is at the stadium?
30,
You reckon 30?
35. What do you think lower?
I was thinking more.
Oh, more. 40. Well, let's put it this way: in the Champions League this season, for a knockout against Atletico, it was 49.
Yeah, that's because the prices were crazy.
Yeah, I guess.
They wanted £80 for a ticket.
I reckon you're probably about 40, maybe 40. I don't think it's going to be full every game.
Yeah. I don't know. I reckon between 40 and 50k. Something around that.
Depending on the price, yeah.
Anyway, that is that for the comments, people. Thank you all. And we'll see you again tomorrow, people. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you
Spurs.
Spurs.